Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. It's been a minute since I've made a video, so I thought I would hop on and try to do this video that I've been thinking about doing. It's really weird doing a video after you've been away for a while. It feels kind of a little awkward, so forgive me if I stumble over my words or get a little nervous. I don't know. But we'll see. So this has been just like mulling around in my head and just about how, the cards from the Eight of Swords over to the Page of Swords creates its own little narrative. And that narrative to me means going from ignorance to knowledge and the trauma of that process. And I think a lot of us do that. We will go through lives with blinders on, but we know that things aren't quite right. We know that just things aren't right. Like you're going through your day, your life, you wake up, you have the same food or you skip breakfast, you go to work and then you come home and then dink a dink a dink, you gotta wash, pay your bills, pay your taxes, and it's like you watch the same shows and you just go on and on and on, and you know that there's something more there. You feel like there is something that's hiding from you. And then when you take the blinders off, now I know that a lot of people see the Nine of Swords as sort of like oh, I don't know, like not self-pity, but just worrying too much, like over worrying, sort of putting yourself through the ringer for no reason. But one way of reading this card is actually once you take the blindfold off, it's really bright out there and it's going to hurt your eyes. It's going to give you a headache and it's going to be too difficult to take in. You have to go slowly. You want to go slowly, but once the blinders are off and you realize, wait, something's not right here. I know that. I've made a choice to step outside that door, and now I can't go back. I can't undo that. And I know I'm being very vague here, but I'm being vague specifically for a reason. It's because, I want people to be able to apply their own situation to this because it's going to be different for everyone. So, what about the of Swords? Now, one way that I view the Ten of Swords is actually as a moment of education, but it's a specific kind of education. It's a shamanic ordeal. And it's that process of coming to fruition of the true state of your mind. It's the true freedom of your mind. And if you see down here, his hand is actually in the teaching mudra shape. So this is a moment of learning for him. And there's this idea in shamanism called the shamanic ordeal. And the shamanic ordeal is something that the shaman has to go through. It's a very intense period of suffering in order to be transformed, to have his mind, her mind, their mind transformed into what it needs to be in order to start on that new journey. And I think that we all sort of go through mini shamanic ordeals in that we start this journey, knowing something's right, but too afraid to take the blinders off and just sort of living our lives, dee, 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 dee. And but once we move forward, it's painful. It continues to be painful. And even when you finally put your hands down and finally see the truth for what it is, it's hard to look it in the face. And when you face the truth, that is when you can begin your true studies, if that makes sense. Now, one of the things that I've been doing, if you've been watching my channel, is comparing card readings to movies. And to me, what I thought of when I was looking at these cards is The Matrix. So this card symbolizes the matrix, and it's in the matrix that, it's, Morpheus says, you're born into bondage, you're born into a prison, that you can't smell, taste, or touch. You just know there's something wrong, and it's a prison of the mind. So she's surrounded by swords because she is imprisoned by her mind. And that is a very, very strong prison. It can be the strongest prison that we ever, you know, deal with. So, some prisons we never break out of. I know that there are some that I probably never will break out of. But I digress. So the nine is, I see as when Neo was unplugged. He was unplugged from the Matrix, and he's suddenly starting to be exposed to how the world truly is. And if you remember, if you've seen the movie, then you remember him waking up and he feels completely weak. He says, what's wrong with my body? Why do I feel like this? Why do my muscles feel like this? And Morpheus says it's because you've never used them before. And everything is so bright for him, and it's just a new trauma. It's a trauma to him to be exposed to how the real world is, and it's not pretty. And I mean, that goes into this too, in that he enters the world where he is seeing the Matrix for what it is. But then he has to go through this ordeal. He needs to become the one. He needs to find his ability to completely be free of the Matrix. He's like, "What are you saying? I'll be able to, dodge bullets." And Morpheus, I'm saying, if I can't remember the exact words, I'm saying that if you truly believe, I believe it is what it was. If you truly believe, then I'm telling you that you won't have to. And the one quote, and I copied this over. My apologies, because I know this is all over the place. But the one quote that I copied over was, "Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind driving you mad. It is it is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?" And that's the Matrix. And Morpheus goes on to say, "I can't tell you about the Matrix. I mean, I can show you the door, but you have to walk through it." And so he says, you can take the blue pill and then, go back to this, or you could take the red pill. If you take the red pill, then you will go down the rabbit hole and you will see reality for what it is. And so, yeah, that's what Neo does. And only when he begins to truly believe in himself is he able to become maybe the King of Swords that he was meant to be. So yeah, this is a whole process of the liberation of the mind and the required steps of being liberated from those shackles. And I know a lot of people don't like this card, but I like this card. I think it's very demonstrative, and it's very clear the fact that he is suffering, but it is a learning process, and that he's going through. And now I wouldn't say that this is a tower moment, because tens are about completion, and it's basically a saying, there's nothing else I can go through now, and um, I, you know, I got my shit together. I've been through it. I'm strong. I'm mentally strong because, it's sword, so it's the intellect. I'm mentally strong enough to take all of this. And only when you're mentally strong can you go on to be the one. You're able to know your worth. and to live that worth. And to, yeah, to basically leave that world behind, to not go back to sort of living in that state where, the matrix, where you know that something's just not right. And you need to go through that painful process to become the student, that you're meant to be, so that you can become the king you are meant to be. So, that is my ramble, and I know it probably wasn't very clear, and I know I was skipping around, but yeah, I thought of The Matrix when I saw these cards, and so yeah, I hope you've seen the movie. If not, sorry, spoilers. But thank you for watching, and I hope this made sense. So yeah, you have a good night, day, evening, whatever. Bye bye.